I can take it.
You
want to go?
Welcome back to the 76 U.S. Women's Open Media Center. We are joined by 2010 U.S. Open champion Paula Creamer. Paula, just talk about being here in San Francisco at Olympic Club for a U.S. Open.
Yeah, it's great to be back home. I haven't been back for quite a while, and my first stop was Togo's. It's like my favorite sandwich place in the world, and went straight there from the airport, and it's just nice to be back in the Bay Area, and this golf course is in spectacular shape and makes it even better when you come in for your national championship to be at such a prestigious golf club.
Talk a little bit about the course, how it's playing, and how it suits your game.
Well, the course superintendent and the staff and everybody has done such a spectacular job. I mean, it really is a great test of golf. It challenges every part of your game, and that's what you want in a championship. And it's been fun. I mean, with the par 3 and, last night with the Taste of San Francisco, I mean, it's kind of weird. It doesn't really feel like a U.S. Open yet. I mean, the golf course definitely does, but all these fun activities, it's been really nice. It's been great to actually see the Olympic Club take ownership of all of us, which is cool.
Ron?
So in and out after Togo's or just Togo's?
I haven't gone in and out. It's just Togo. Togo's is, it's been a while for Togo's. So.
We talked to you, obviously, when you got the exemption about coming back home. Mm-hmm. But now that you're here, how does that change the dynamics? Was there any sort of moment when you thought, wow, I'm really back in the Bay Area for the Women's Open?
I guess getting on the airplane, normally I don't come out that early, but I came out on Saturday, and that doesn't normally happen. You get to a tournament that far in advance, and this time I did, and I played on Sunday, and anytime you walk, or I guess you say drive your car into where the U.S. Open is, there's just a special feeling and a vibe, and the fact that it is, here in the Bay Area, it was special. But at the same time, I'm here to play a golf tournament too, and I feel really good. I love the golf course, so I'm excited for it to start.
If I guess quick follow, how much history do you have at this course? I live in the East Bay. You grew up in the East Bay. You don't always get to San Francisco much. How much have you played here before?
I've only played here once, and that was at Christy Kerr's event, I believe in 2017. And I came out to watch, the men's, the Open in '98. But, at that time I was, 12, 11 years old. It wasn't like my dad was going to say, let's go play Olympic Club. That wasn't going to happen. So quite truthfully, I really don't have that much history here. It was always something I would want to do, but at that age, I never got the opportunity.
Paula, some people say there's a unique flavor to San Francisco style golf, whether it's the weather, the quirky courses, or whatever. Do you agree with that? And if so, how does this course, from what you've seen so far, kind of exemplify?
Oh, for sure. When you're standing on the driving range, it's 15 degrees cooler than when you're over, standing on 15 green or whatever. But it is. The ball doesn't fly as far. There's mist that comes in. It's awesome to see the fog kind of roll through the trees. You don't get that everywhere you go. That's definitely a San Fran trait. And just the trees and the architecture, the landscaping, all of that. It's very, to San Francisco, it's very specific with that. But the golf, the grass is perfect. The greens are awesome. The rough is thick, and that's has a lot to do with the weather here as well.
Thank you for the poetry.
Oh, poetry.
Hey, Paula, what impact do you think it has on women's golf that the 11 or 12-year-old girl following you guys this week will never know that she can't play Oakmont, Pebble, Olympic Club, that none of these courses all these courses are available to her?
I'm sorry, can you?
What impact does it have on the women's game broadly that, unlike you, the 11, 12-year-old today knows that they are going to be able to play these iconic courses? I'm sure at 11 you never thought you were going to win a U.S. Open.
No, I was playing 9-hole, NCGA tournaments. That's what, and I was ready for them, pulling my pole cart around. It is. it's actually great to see that there is that opportunity and how far along golf has been growing. And, there are so many great golf courses in the Bay Area. I know obviously we're surrounded with the 4 here in the San Fran area, but just even when you go where I'm from, Castlewood, down the street, there's 5 or 6 that are awesome golf courses there. And, it shows that clubs are, bringing younger kids in and they're allowing junior golf to grow. Because without that, who's going to play on the LPGA and PGA Tour? You have to be able to open the doors for young kids, and getting on those harder golf courses and those prestigious golf courses is difficult. But these days, when you've got some talent, you can get out there and be able to do that.
Paula, I would never suggest that what you did was ever easy, but you made it look easy at one point in your career. Now that you have a little more perspective and have had to battle through some injuries, how has your perspective changed about the game and what it takes to win an Open?
No, it's funny you say that because, this is my 10th year, since winning the U.S. Open, or 11th going on. But I look at my career and I would say to myself, if I was younger then, to enjoy those wins more. I was just so focused all the time. You win on a Sunday and it was like the next tournament starts Monday. I never ever really sat there and, patted yourself on the back. And going through injuries and all of that, it's tough. And you never know if you're going to be able to play again the same. I feel the best I've felt in probably 6 years, quite truthfully, and that's saying a lot. And it's nice to be able to come out and play a golf course and not have to hurry home and ice and do rehab and all of this, to my body. I can actually go practice again if I want. But I do think that my career, I worked really hard as a kid and I worked really hard as an amateur, and coming out on tour, my mindset was only to win golf tournaments. And as you get older, things obviously change, but injuries, they do play a part of that. But like I said, I wish, when I was a little younger, I would have said, hey, way to go, good job, instead of say, why couldn't I win by 5, or something like that, and be so hard on yourself. But
Well, having said that, the fact that you'll always be introduced as 2010 U.S. Open, that means something, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. It still gives me goosebumps thinking about it. The competitor in me wants me to have it so it's like 2020, 2020, not 2010. I feel like that's a long time ago. I want it now. But at the same time, you got to take it, day by day kind of thing. And like I said, my second tournament back since after a long break, and my expectations are very similar to at Oakmont. I don't really have any right now, and I just want to get out there and play with no pain.
We're going to take a few from the WebEx. Any concerns about the thick rough with your past wrist injuries?
I haven't. I'm not going to lie. I didn't sit there and hit 100 balls out of the rough to see what I could do. I probably hit about 10, 15 shots over the last several days. If it gets in there, I'm not going to try to be a hero. Take what it gives me. So.
How important is it to you that your U.S. Open title came at Oakmont? In a way, how important is venue to the players?
Venue is everything. I believe that. Winning at Oakmont is, you couldn't ask for a better place. Obviously, being from the Bay Area, having my name on the trophy here would be just as special. But I think at the same time, if your name's on the trophy where the U.S. Open's at, you'll take it.
Ron?
We've obviously talked a lot about the nostalgia of you coming home, but so many players have talked about the difficulty of this course.
Yeah.
How much of an ask is this, given how long you've been out, given your injuries? This doesn't seem like the greatest place to try to find your game. Given that, I know you just referred to your expectations, but given where you are in your comeback and the challenge of this course, how does that sort of mesh?
My golf game's actually, it's really good right now. It's solid. It's consistent. My biggest thing is just getting back to playing tournament golf. I think people don't realize it's so much harder picking numbers, picking shots, with your caddy, this and that, being so precise. I've been home playing the same golf course, pretty much every day, and I know how far the ball flies. I can pick a target, and, getting back into that routine, I think is probably is harder than actually playing. So like I said, that part is rusty for me. My actual golf game is not rusty. It's more of just the process of going about, picking shots and executing them. And when you're, seeing different angles around greens and things that you're so used to week in and week out. And I really haven't had that for quite a while. And that's where I think that, the more tournaments I play, the better I'll get.
Last question. What does your playing schedule look like after this week?
I'm going to play a full schedule. I'm playing the next several events next week, at Lake Merced and then Grand Rapids. I'll be playing quite a bit. So.
And I think in one
Oh,
more.
yep.
I know you talked about 98 Open, attending with your parents. Do you have a specific memory of that? Do you remember seeing a certain player or a hole? Or?
It was funny. Actually, I remember my dad taking me to the merchandise shop and saying, "Okay, you can get whatever you want." I got an umbrella. That's your typical NorCal girl right there, knowing that she's gonna need her umbrella to go play golf. And we still have the umbrella. It's crazy. It's a stars and stripes and red, white, and blue with Olympic Club on it. And it was bigger than me. It was so heavy, but I wanted that umbrella.
Good choice.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Paula. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.